Shalom, Akim. My name's Kal-Yal. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai. Double honors to our elders who rule Great Millstone Wow, and Shalom to all you Akim pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the whole earth. May all you brothers endure until the end. Shalom. So, they're in the news. It says that the Virgin Islands are confiscating guns. Okay, this is Fox News here. And it says, NRA threatens lawsuit after U.S. Virgin Islands governor orders weapon seizure. The governor of the U.S. Virgin Islands has ordered its National Guard to seize guns, ammunition, and other weapons from the citizens as the territory prepares for Hurricane Irma to make landfall. Governor Kenneth Mapp, an independent, signed an executive order Tuesday instructing Adjutant General Deborah Howell to take whatever actions she considered necessary to maintain public order. The Times-Picayune reported. The order obtained by the Daily Caller states that Howell is authorized and directed to seize arms, ammunition, explosives, incendiary material, and any other property that may be required by the military forces for the performance of this emergency mission. So, they put an executive order to start confiscating weapons. And that's a sign of martial law, because when they go through martial law, they take the weapons. They take the ammo, they take your ability to defend yourself. Okay, this is the path that they are predicting that it's going to travel, that Hurricane Irma. It's going to turn, they're saying, and go up. They don't know if it's going to go on the side of Florida or if it's going to go right up into Florida. But it's also saying that South Carolina is also going to get hit. See? South Carolina they're predicting this wide view of where it's heading. They don't know exactly, but this is where their prediction is. You know, they're gonna have, if it hits as hard, if it's bigger than Harvey, because they're predicting it's gonna lose strength and go down to a Category 4, because it's a Category 5 right now. But that's only a prediction through Esau's magic. But honestly, it could pick up even more strength. But I wanted to get that South Carolina. Okay. So this is the Post and Courier. Hurricane Irma. Huge storm tides expected to swipe South Carolina on Monday. Uncertainty remains about intensity. Okay. 2017 hurricane guide for Charleston and South Carolina. Right here it says forecast. This is the top story. Forecast shifts west for Hurricane Irma as decision on South Carolina evacuation to come Friday. Okay. It says Hurricane Irma's wind speed fell to 165 miles per hour Thursday night as the National Hurricane Center in Miami put out hurricane and storm surge warnings ahead of expected Florida impact. The latest forecast model puts the Charleston area outside of the projected cone as it shifted west. Forecasters issued a warning for a sizable segment of Florida, including the Miami metro area, Lake Okeechobee. A storm surge which has been issued for the east coast of Florida, north of Jupiter Inlet to Sebastien Inlet, and for the west coast of the state, north of Bonita Beach to Venice. The Hurricane Center said a hurricane watch was issued for the state's east coast, north of Jupiter Inlet to Sebastien Inlet, and for its west coast, north of Bonita Beach and Anna Maria Island, the center said. So they're showing you the projection, the predicted projection of this hurricane. Okay. And as you can see, it goes right up into South Carolina. And this is just a prediction. So South Carolina, Thursday also saw officials urge South Carolinas to prepare for impacts from the approaching storm. President Donald Trump declared an emergency for South Carolina, ordering federal assistance for state and local response teams in anticipation of damage from powerful Hurricane Irma early next week. Okay? So they're predicting that South Carolina, Charleston, is going to get hit by this Hurricane Irma. Well, as you can see, the path of the eclipse, it exited through Charleston, South Carolina. Salakia. See? Charleston, South Carolina. The solar eclipse exited America through that. Went right over that area, which is about to get hit with the storm of the century. They said it's the biggest storm they've recorded. Okay. Now I want to get the history of South Carolina. South Carolina was one of the original 13 states. So it was one of the first original states of America, of the United States. European exploration of the beginning of the area began in April 1540 with the Hernando de Soto expedition, who unwittingly introduced new Eurasian diseases that decimated the local Native American population. So it killed the so-called Native American Indians when these people came to this land as a so-called expedition. Because they were trying to explore looking for gold, silver, and slaves. Because they lacked any immunity in 1663. Because you got to remember, all these Edomites were filthy. They're filthy creatures. Their teeth are rotting out their head. They don't bathe. So when they came to the Americas, the so-called Americas, where the Gadites, the Seminole Indians, Yashashakar, all the northern kingdom of Israel, they brought disease with them. Because if you in the scriptures, we're commanded to stay clean. We're supposed to bathe. We're supposed to do all these things to keep ourselves clean from disease. But Esau don't have that same commandment. So honestly, they're like beasts. They go days without showers. Which creates disease. They have gay sex, which creates disease. They'll lay down they'll have a dog in the bed with them, which creates disease. What does a dog run around and he goes and rolls in his own shit, eats his own vomit? But Esau will tongue kiss a dog. So this beast of a person, when he comes to Americas, the so-called Americas, he brought disease, killing off a lot of the Gadites. In 1663, the English crown granted land to 8 proprietors of what became the colony. The first settlers came to the province of Carolina at the port of Charleston. Where is that hurricane going to hit? They're predicting it's going to hit South Carolina, Charleston. Where did the eclipse exit over America? South Carolina, Charleston. What was Charleston? South Carolina, Charleston was one of the first 13 states of America, of the United States. Also, the capital of South Carolina is Columbia, which goes back to Columbus, who did not accidentally come here. He knew with intent what he was coming. He was coming for gold, slaves, to steal this land from who were here, which were Israelites. In 1670, they were mostly wealthy planters and their slaves, coming from the British Caribbean colony of Barbados. they started to develop their commodity crops of sugar and cotton, pushing back the Native Americans, which are the Gadites, in the Yamasee War. Colonists next overthrew the proprietor's rule, seeking more direct representation. In 1719, the colony was officially made a crown colony. North Carolina was split off and made into a separate colony in 1729, which shows the 12 tribe sign is very accurate, because who did the so-called Edom, the English, the British, the Spaniard, the Greeks, all these Edomite groups came in and invaded the so-called Americas today, where the northern kingdom of Israel was, and they slaughtered them. They decimated them, which means they killed a big quantity, a big group of them. So it shows that this sign is very accurate, because the slaves would have been the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Okay, so I'm going to get a script. This is Nahum chapter 1, verse 1. The burden of Nineveh, which is the capital of the at the time of the Assyrian Empire. The book of the vision of Nahum the Alcushite, which he prophesies of the destruction of the Assyrian Empire. Power is jealous, and Yahweh revengeth. Yahweh revengeth, and is furious. Yahweh will take vengeance on his adversaries, and he reserveth wrath for his enemies. And who's his enemies? His enemies are starting with Esau, is starting with the 2/3 of Israel, but also including all the other heathens who had a part in our slavery. Because when we went into slavery, so-called Africans, Arabs, they all had a piece of our slavery, which they still do to today. That's why when you go into your neighborhood community stores, they're who's ruling it? Who's running it? Who's profiting off your destruction? Arabs, India people, Chinese, Japanese. So they're still benefiting off our destruction. So the Lord reserveth his wrath for his enemies. And that's what's going to come. When he comes through, he's going to destroy this place and everybody in it, except for the elect and the 1/3 of Israel. Yahweh is slow to anger and great in power. And that's why, like a lot of people lose faith. They say, where is the promise of his coming? For as when the fathers fell asleep, everything keeps going. Everything, they think that life just keeps going. But soon it's about to be a dramatic change, because when Yahushua comes, he's bringing all this destruction. That's what these hurricanes are. This is what these fires, half of America's fire. So these are the signs of the times. And will not at all acquit the wicked. Yahweh hath his way in the whirlwind, and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. And see, the chariots, if you look it up, a lot of these storms, there's people that witness chariots during these storms. Okay? And the chariots are considered clouds, but he's sending these storms upon America as vengeance against his enemies. Verse 4, he rebuketh the sea and maketh it dry, and drieth up all rivers. Bashan languish, and Carmel, and the flower of Lebanon languisheth. The mountains quake at him, and the hills mount, and the earth is burnt at his presence. Yeah, the world and all that dwell therein. This is Mount Sinai, where Moses went up the mountain to speak to the Most High, do Yahushua. And as you can see, it's still burnt. See, Mount Sinai and the burnt marks. And see, when these nukes go off, the earth is going to be also burned. Because as he comes, this is intensifying. And through the scriptures, there's going to be nuclear fire that burns this place, which creates the lake of fire. All right? Because you're going to have 200 million nuclear missiles shot at America. So, as this comes, these prophecies are coming true. They can't stop them. They can't stop him. Including this devil, Trump, who's been ordained to play this part. I mean, Lord willing, we pray that this is that end time. But only the Lord knows, the Father, Yahweh. But as the times go, there's prophecies in the scriptures that shows these are the signs of the times. And we're in those times. There's earthquakes in Mexico. There's hurricanes hitting America. There's 3 of them in the ocean right now. All right? There was 4. Because remember, Harvey, Irma, then you got Katia, then you got Jose. Then there was an earthquake at 8.0 at the bottom of Mexico. Half America's in fire. So all these prophecies are being fulfilled. And the watchmen who have that ear to hear and the eye to see, they have to be this is just showing how true the Lord's word is. So not only was the earth burnt when the Most High touched the earth, talking to Moses, but also it's going to be burnt when Yahushua comes with the chariots, because right before he comes, America is going to be nuked. It's going to be burned, and everything up in it. This is Nahum chapter 1, verse 5. The mountains quake at him, and the hills melt, and the earth is burned at his presence. Yeah, the world and all that dwell therein. Who can stand before his... So I'm going to read that again, verse 6. Who can stand before his indignation? Who can abide in the fierceness of his anger? His fury is poured out like fire, and the rocks are thrown down by him. Yahweh is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knoweth them that trust in him. But with an overrunning flood he will make an utter end of the place thereof, and darkness shall pursue his enemies. Okay? And that flood came by water before, but now it's going to come by fire via ICBM, nuclear missiles. What do ye imagine against the Yahweh? He will make an utter end. Affliction shall not rise up the second time. For while they be folded together as thorns, and while they are drunken as drunkards, they shall be devoured as stubble fully dry. And that's also with these 2/3. These 2/3 are drunk on Christianity. They're drunk on hip-hop. They're drunk on basketball. They're drunk on football. They're drunk on college. They're drunk on success. So they don't even want to know what's going on. They try to avoid this. In fact, there's a thing called a snowflake syndrome that's in the colleges today. And what it is they don't want to be offended. And if the what they're learning is too severe, too strong for them, they water it down. They say, don't tell me. They'll protest against it. It's called snowflake syndrome. They shall be devoured as stubble, fully dry, meaning they're going to burn. And if they make it that far, they're going to burn. If not, they're going to be put to death of another form. There is one come out of thee that imagineth evil against Yahweh, a wicked counselor. Thus saith the Yahweh, though they be quiet and likewise many, yet thus shall they be cut down. When he shall pass through, though I have afflicted thee, I will afflict thee no more. And that's the Israelites. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians as a whole are going to be delivered eventually. But starting with the elect and the 1/3, they're going to be delivered from this Jacob's trouble, including the flames, except for the ones that had to die for the Lord's sake. 13. For now will I break his yoke from off of thee, and will burst thy bones in sunder. I mean, he's gonna free us from this bondage that we are in under this American captivity. And Yahweh hath given a commandment concerning thee, that no more of thy name be sown. Out of the house of thy gods will I cut off the graven image and molten image. And that goes back to, not only this Christianity image, this government image, is democracy, these Republicans, because you got Jake caught up in all this mischief that they're in. But also Esau's money. Jake loves Esau's money, especially the women of Israel. So the Lord's going to destroy all these. He's going to destroy all their gods. He's going to destroy their money. He's going to destroy their ability to save themselves. Right now they might think, okay, they're in Harvey. They got all these people coming together with boats and shit like that. But eventually there ain't going to be nothing to save you. And eventually these cops ain't even going to be able to help you, because they're going to be hunted down and put to death. Verse 15. Upon the mountains the feet of him that bringeth good tidings, that publish peace, Yahushai. O Judah, keep thy Solomon feast, perform thy vows. Meaning keep the commandments to the best of your ability, of the faith, out of faith that this is going down. For the wicked shall no more pass through thee. He is utterly cut off. Call halal Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. We're almost out this bitch, brothers. Endure patiently, brothers, without complaint. Because the signs of the times are showing that our salvation, our redemption draws nigh. With that, brothers, I'm going to say endure. Shalom.